Okay. Today we'll be discussing about layout system. So HTML layouts. So what is the purpose of layouts? So whatever the website you want to create, any website or any app or anything, first we need is the structure. If we don't have the structure, what we can do with the images and all? If I just give you all the images of a Flipkart and I will give what name somewhere not in a proper place, is it easy for you to understand which product or clicking which one it will be redirected to a particular page? No. So we have to give a proper name and proper structure to everything. So to create a structure only, we use the layouts. So that layout systems is nothing but HTML layouts. So there are totally how many types of layouts? 4 type of layouts. So table layouts. Okay. So next, float layout. Third one will be flex layout, and fourth one will be grid layout. Okay, so these are the 4 types of layouts that we have. Okay, so now what this table we have already seen while discussing with the tables. So in the same way, however we creating the tables, we'll create the layout in the same way, but because we'll go with some important other attributes value. That's it. Okay, so let's come to the float layout. We don't need to worry much about it because it is completely just a layout. We can't create a layout by using a float. Instead of float, we can use any of the other, which will make us work more easy. Okay, so you can avoid the float, but if you want to go through the float will have only 2 properties. One is float left and float right. That are the only 2 properties that you get in the float layout. That means if you create one element, we can create that, make that element go to the left or go to the right. So that is what a float layout will do. Okay. So apart from that, what float will help us to do is, for example, if you create a layout, you have taken 2 elements like one image and one paragraph. Okay, how this will come? For suppose if it is your screen. Okay, so for suppose I create the image and I create a paragraph. Paragraph is by default block level element. So automatically it will not come on the side, it will come down. So if you want to keep them side by side, how you make it? You have to make it paragraph display as inline or inline block. So if I do inline or inline block, what happens? Those will come side by side. That means image will be here and content paragraph will be like this. It will come. For example, by using a float, what is the advantage we can create? Instead of doing paragraph, will be completely right. That means this complete space can be occupied by the image. Even though image is this much height, so the complete column will be occupied by the which one? Image only. Because paragraph how much content it may increase. It doesn't have the power to enter into this empty space. So by using the float, what we can do, whether image of any object, so suppose it is the object, we have the power to, instead of going like this, we can fill content from here, completing here, we can fill here. Okay, so that is how float will help us to create a layout. So which is not that much helpful, which can be created by any other properties also. Okay, so that is why we don't need to worry much about this float layout. Okay. So one of the most important and the most useful and the major layouts that everybody using is this flex and the grid layouts. So these 2 are the very, very important layouts that we use in our daily life for development. Okay. So what is the difference between flex and grid layouting? First, we'll go with the float. Sorry, flex. Flex is a unidirectional layout system. That means it will work only in the one direction, nothing but horizontal direction. I guess you have the idea about what is horizontal, what is vertical. Okay. X-axis will be horizontal, Y-axis will be vertical. Okay. So flex will be only X-axis based layout system. That means unidirectional layout system. It will vary only about the width. We will be not able to deal with the height while using with this flex layout. Okay. So under this flex, we'll get a properties like display is one of the property, flex is one of the property, flex direction is one of the property. Next, align items is one of the property. Come on, just fine. Content is one of the property. Order is one of the property. Next, etc. So there are many more other properties. Okay. So now we'll see how what is this flex layout will do. For example, I want to create a layout like how it is shown. Okay. So this is the layout I want to create. First of all, if you think this is my page, I want to create layout like header, sidebar, middle content, right sidebar, next footer. Within footer, I want multiple columns. Okay. So this is the layout I want to create. Okay. So usually here, how many ways you can divide this layout? Okay. So one thing you need to remember is whenever you start creating any layout, first of all, the designer will give you a template to create that in HTML. So don't blindly start the layout. First of all, you need to know where I need to break the code, where I need to start the code, and how many sections I need to divide the code. That is what major thing. So if you know how to divide and where to divide, half of the work is done and development will be very easy. For example, here, totally I can divide this whole layout into 3 sections. That means 3 parts. The first part is header. Second part is this one. Second part. Third part will be footer. So that means 3 major parent parts we call it as parents. So parents will be generally taken by tags for div or section. Div is HTML4 tags, section is HTML5 tags. You can take any of the tags. Okay. So what is meant by this div or section is, as I already told you, it is like a container where we can store multiple other tags also. For example, in a bottle I can carry a liquid content. In a box I can carry a solid content. In a balloon I can carry a which one? Gas content. So in the same, but I can where I can put all of this. For suppose if I take a bag, I can put all of those 3 in the bag or no. So that bag is nothing but this div or section. So I have multiple tags like H1 and image and all. So if you want to divide section by section, so I have to make them as a group. So to make them as a group, that is where I can use this div or section tag. Okay. So what is the advantage of making the tags into a group? Because first of all, if I really make this as individual group, what happens? First of all, I got some issue in this layout. So I need to start checking from here to here. So what happens? It will be a lot of time, and due to this, the complete layout also will get disturbed. First of all, if I have a differentiator to each part into separate parts. Okay, if I take it. So first of all, some issue came here. I need to check only that part. So it will be easy for me. So like that, I have to develop my layout. So totally 3 major parts. Okay. 3 parents we can call it as. Okay. So totally how many parents will be how many? 3 parents will be there. Next, I need to check how many childs I need to create in each parent. That means inside this parent, how many childs I need to create. First one, I don't have any child. For example, if you want to create a links, I can use the anchor tags. Okay. So some childs will be there. For now, there is no child, 0 child. Okay. First section, there is 0 child. Second section, if you see how many childs are there? 3 childs are there. 1, 2, 3. So totally here 3 childs. Okay. So next, how many childs is in the third section? 4. So totally how many? So section 2 will be 3 childs and section 3 will be 4 childs. Okay. So like this I need to divide. Okay. Now I can understand how many I need to create. So now what I need to do first, I need to take one div section. I need to create one part. Second part, what I need to do, I need to take again one div. Okay. So one div section. I would like to go with div. Okay, you can go with section and it's your choice. Okay, so div I have taken. So this is the which one? Parent tag. So within that, how many childs will be there? 3 childs. So again, what I will do? I will take 3 childs. Right. So in the same way, this is the second section if you guess. So come to the third section. Again, how many are there? 4 childs are there. So again, same div I will take and I will take instead of 3 div, I will take 4 divs here. Okay. So now what I need to do? by default, div is a block level element. Okay. So if I take in this way, how I'll get my structure is this first section, the second section, I'll get like this. And third section, I'll get again, fourth I'll get. Why I'll get like this? Why I'll not get side by side? Because div is a block level element. As we already know, block level element is occupy the whole row. That block level, even if it has a one more, or even if it has a 10 more, it will occupy the whole complete line. So that is the reason why as soon as I create the layout, my layout will be looking like this. So now if I want to make them come side by side, what I need to do? I need to convert them from block to inline or inline block. So I can't convert them to inline because inline will not accept a height and width property. So definitely I need to convert them into a inline block. So first method I can use is the inline block. I convert each and every element like this element, this element, this element, and this all I will convert into childs into a inline block element so that these segments will come side by side. So if I don't want to go with it, here what happening, I need to deal with each and every element. So instead of that, what I can do, I can go with the flex layout. So second method is the flex. By using the flex, what will happen? If I deal with the parent, here I need to dealing with the directly if I want to give inline block, I need to deal with the individual child. But if I want to deal with the flex layout, I don't need to have some child elements. I can directly give properties to the parent, and by using this parent properties only, I can deal with the child. So now we will see how to create that particular layout. Okay. So for example, first parent is header, right? So as I already told you, semantic tags, nothing but the tags with a proper name. So I'll use header only, directly header tag I'll use. So now usually headers will have the links, right? Like home link and all. So I'll go with the links. So if you want to give links, what is the tag I need to use? Anchor tag. Okay. So I'll use the anchor tag. As I already told you, if there is no links, we need to give it as a hashtag in the href. So I'll give home. Okay. Home. I'll duplicate this. So now next courses. About us. Contact. So let me open this file in the browser. If you see, I got my content like this. Okay, you're able to see this is what I got. So as these are the anchor tags, what happened? By default, those are coming in a blue color with a underline. So first of all, what I need to do, I need to create a first layout proper structure to this. So usually whenever I create a layout, I'll give a border to it. Why? Because if I give a border, it will be easy for me to understand up to where my element is taking and what is the particular place the element is looking like. So that is why I'll take one of the common class. Okay. So I'll be going with the internal CSS. Okay. So internal CSS, I'll be going with some common classes. Common classes. So what is meaning is common classes is, first suppose sometimes we need to use the same properties for multiple elements again and again and again. So for the reasons, instead of creating again and again, if I writing, what I'll create one class. You already know the class selector. So how it will work? Reusability. So I'll create a class, and for the class, I'll give these properties. So wherever I give that class, I'll get that properties or not. So that is how this will work. So I'll give like class name called border. Okay. So now for this class, I'll give border as 1px solid red. So now wherever I give this class, that will get a border. For example, for this header, I give class selector class as border. So if you go to the browser, see, I got a border or not? Got it? Okay. So now next what I need to do? I need to create space between these elements. Okay. So for that, what I need to do? These are the anchor tags. So directly I'll take a anchor tag. So anchor tag, and I'll give like instead of creating outer space, I'll create a outer space to the elements. That means if I give outer space, means what is the property I need to use? If you want to give space around the element, what is the property? If you want to give the space inside the element, what is the property? Margin will be outer. So first I'll give padding and try. So if I give padding as 10 px, so if you see now, see I got a space like this. Okay, so as I told you, this anchor tag is a inline element. So that is why, as you see, padding is working on the left and right, but not working on the top and bottom because it is an inline element. So now what I do, instead of padding, let me try with margin. See, still same, nothing is gonna work. So that is why what I need to do, I need to convert this into a display inline block. Okay, so now if you see, is it working or not? Okay, so now instead of margin, I'll give padding. Okay, so now padding I have given as 10 px. So I got the space or not? So if you see each and every element, so this is one element, this is one element. So like that I have the elements. Got it? So now what I do, let us come here and convert this display into inline block. Okay, so now I got like this. And I don't want any underlined color like this. I want to go with the normal color and normal element. So what I do for that, first I need to change the color to black. So instead of going usually colors, as a developer, try to go with the hexagonal codes. So for every color there will be hexagonal code. Okay. So for black it will be 000 or 000, or else for white F or F. Like that, every color will have a hexagonal code. If you don't know the code, if you search in the Google also, you'll get the code. Try to go with the code, which will be a better practice. So now if you see, I got the black color to my elements. Okay. So I got black color or not. So now I need to remove this underline for the link. So for that I have a property called text decoration. Text decoration as I don't want anything, so none I'll do. Okay, so if you see now, there is no underline for this, but these are the links now. If I click on anything, see, as a given hashtag, the page also not getting reloaded, but these are the links. If I want, whenever I want to use, I can use this link. Okay, so now, next what I need to do. For example, I don't want to keep these elements in the left side. I want to take them to the right side. And I want to keep some logo on the left side. Okay. So for that, what I need to do, that means I'll have two sections. So what I'll do then? So I'll take it in two sections, like I'll take one div and I'll put in one section. I'll put the links. Okay. Next, I'll take image. Okay. So now, if you see, image is there, div is there. So now image, let me take any one of the image. Logos are not there, right? So let me take any one of the logos from anywhere. I have actions. Okay. Let me take this GRK logo for time being. Okay. Or else let me take this. Okay. So now I have a logo here. So logo not PNG. As we already know, if for image tag, definitely we mustn't have to give the width or height property, because if we didn't give, browser will take the original height and width of the image. So now if I go to the reload, see the image is coming in too big. So but I don't want this much big, right? So definitely what I do, I need to reduce its width. So I'll write a property called width of, like let me give 200 px. So every time instead of writing in the code and saving and reloading here, what I'll do, directly I'll check in the browser and then I'll use the same properties in my coding part. Okay. So now 200 px is little small, but okay, I think this is looking good. Like 230 is looking good. So, and I need some space to my element. So I'll give like some padding of 10 px. Okay. So now this is what my image. Okay. So I don't want padding on top and bottom. I want only on left and right. So I'll give like 0 px space 10 px. Now how it will work? So first value will be top and bottom, that is y-axis. Second value will be x-axis. So these are the two properties. These are looking good. So now what I'll do, I'll copy. And for image, right? So I'll go like directly, I'll take image tag and I'll give properties. So first, suppose if I give like this, so what is the, currently there is no issue, but for the upcoming layout, I'll get issue. Why? Because do you think I'll not get any other anchor tags in my HTML page? Or do you think I'll not use any other images? I'll definitely use other images and other anchor tags. So that is why I need to give a proper name to this selector, which will not affect the other elements. So how I can give? First, suppose this image or anchor tags, in which parent it is, these are there. These are in the parent called header. Header is its parent. So directly I can give a decent selector. So we have already discussed the selectors, right? So header space A. Now, if what is this condition? If I give like this, what it will tell is I need to select the anchor tag, but that anchor tag should be within a tag called header. So then only these properties are going to work, or else these are not going to work. Okay. So in the same way, this is also header space image. So the image should be within a header, and for that only it will work. So now if you see, I got like this. So as div is a block element, what happened? This outputting with full row, but image is a inline element. But I want to keep them in a side by side. So that is where I have a property called display flex. Okay. So now, for example, for this header, I'll give a property called directly display as flex. Now, if you see what happened, my elements are came in the side by side or no. So generally, what is this flex property will do is whether the elements are inline or inline block or block line elements. I have to keep the elements in a side by side. Okay, even though it is overflowing also, it doesn't matter to me. But I want to keep all the elements in a single line and single row. So that is what my display flex property will do. So that is what happened here also. So as soon as I give a display flex to the parent, what it will do? How many chains are there inside that element? That all chains will be given in a single line. For example, if you see, I'll create one more div and I'll create some duplicate chains. See, now if you see here, see, all are going in a single line. How many elements you create within that parent? So that all parent chains will be going in a single line. So that is why we directly give a property to the which one? Parent, not to the childs here. Okay. So now if you see, I got created with layout like this. So now what I need to do? I want this element to be go in the right side. Okay. So that means alignment we need to do. So up to now, before that, what I need to do, I need to divide the space. For example, I want these elements to occupy only half space. Okay. So now what we need to do, there is a property, next property called, what is the property here? Flex property. So display flex property will tell that how I need to convert my elements. Then the property name itself flex, what it will tell that how much width my each child should take. Okay. So now if you see, so now I need to deal with this anchor tag. So now this div I'll do like okay, already for div I don't have any class, right? Okay, so div I'll give a property called flex as one. So display flex to be given to the parent and flex property to the given to the child, not to the parent. Okay, don't get confused. ఇక్కడ parent ki child, ఇక్కడ child's this one. So what I'll do, I'll keep this image also within a div. It will be good for us, easy for us to understand. Okay. So now there are two divs. In one div I have image, one div I have anchor tag. So now if I reload, see what happened. So as soon as I given flex as 1 to the child, so what happened? The width is equally divided. Okay. For example, if I create 3 divs, okay, just imagine I have 4 elements. So now if you see, each element will occupy the equal width because I given for this element child flex as 1, or else if I give auto also nothing but it will take the equal width to each and every element. Okay, which if I have 100% width, in that 100%, if I have 3 elements, each element will take how much? 33%. So if I have 4 elements, each element will take 35%. Like that, it will automatically will take. Okay. So now if you see, now I have only 2 elements. So each element will take how much? 50%. Now image will take 50%, image div will take 50%, and link div will take 50%. Okay. So but I don't want like this. For example, I want this which one? This links to be taken 75%, and I want this image to be taken only 25%. So then what I can do? I'll make this for this element, second element, flex as 2. So now if you see, so this is taken only 30% and it is taken 75%. So simply to say how this flex property will work is, for example, so as soon as, for example, I create a layout, this is what my layout. And as soon as I create elements, this is one div and this is one div. So to get them side by side, what I did, I given display as flex. So to which one I given? To its parent I have given. Okay, this is the parent. So parent I have given. So now as soon as I given flex, what happens? The child, this child will become side by side, right? So became side by side and will take how much width they have. That means, first suppose its width has 100 page, it will have only 100 page because this is a inline block elements now. So now what happened? My image is this much width and my other links are this much width. Okay. So this is all empty space or not? So automatically this will be related because how much height it has, that much of it take. So now it is all empty space or not? Empty space. So now what I need to do is empty space to be occupied. That means I want to occupy the whole element and I want to divide equally. This element should take half, this element should take half. So what I do for the childs, this childs I give property as flex as auto. Auto or you can do one also. Any one of this property value you can give. So if I do like this, what happens? So within my element, each element will take half of width. Okay. So if I give flexible, that means each one take one part. That's what I'm telling. Okay. For example, I want this to take more width. So if I give like only for this element, I give flex as 2. That means it have to take 2 parts. Okay. So how this it will take 2 parts is, for example, here 2 elements are there, which is 100%. So if each element is taking 50-50, I want to take these elements more than 2 parts. That means one part means equally, 2 parts means more than 1 part, double to the single part, right? And then how much it will be? 50-50. Okay. Then if it take 2 parts, it will be 50% plus 25%. 2 parts, right? So automatically it will take how much weight? 75% weight it will occupy. If I give flex as 2. Now what is the remaining weight? 25%. So that will be automatically taken by this other element. Okay. So first suppose if I have 3 elements, you just imagine. Okay. For example, the same scenario, I have 3 elements. So if I have 3 elements, how much each element will take? 33%, 33%, and 33%. Right? 33, 33, 33. So in the 33, 33, 33, if I give any one of this element, like I give flex as to this element. So that means how much? 100 divided by now, how many parts totally? 4 parts it will come. See, before it is 3 only. Okay. Now if we take this flex as 2, 1, 2 plus 2. If I took here 2 parts, right? So totally 4 parts. So 100 divided by 2 means how much? So 100 divided by 4 means 25. That means each element should take 25%. So first element will take how much? 25%. So second element will take 25%. But third element, how much it will take? 50. Why? Because I given us 2 parts for this element. So it will be built as how much? 50%. If I give it as a flex as 3. Now how many parts totally? 1, 2 plus 3. Totally 5 parts. So 100% divided by 5. Each one will have how much percentage? 20%. So first element will have a 20%, and second element will have a 20%. Remaining 60% will be third element because it has 3 parts. So like this, whichever the element you give, okay. So by default, first of all, if you create 3 elements or 2 elements also, then if you give flex as 1 or 2, so along with that elements, I need to add that extra part also. That means totally I created only 2 elements, 3 elements here. But along with that, for this third element, I am adding plus 3. That means 1, 2 plus 3. Totally 5 parts. Like that, the layout will be dispersed. Okay. So now if you see, as a given like here for this element flex as 2. So that means how much it is taking? 75%, because if it is equally divided 50-50, if I take in total, how many parts will be there here? 1, 2, and 3, right? So first we will take 1 part, this one take 2 parts. So 100 divided by 3 means 33%. So that means this element will be taking around 67%, and this element will be taking around 33%. Got it? So that is how I divided my layout. Okay. Clear? Did you understand how the flex property will work? Now, what I need to do? I need to align these elements. That means I need to make that element in the center. Okay. So for example, if I give justify content as one of the property called. So if you want to deal with the horizontal alignment, that means left to the left or to the right or to the center horizontally. So you will use a property called justify content. So if you justify content as center, if you see, so okay, there are no elements here, so I will use this element. So okay, child element. So this one I want on the left side only because logo will be on the left side, but this elements I want in the center. So what I do, I'll use a property called text align. We have already know, right? So for this element, I'll give like text align as center. Now what happened? My complete elements came in the center or not? Got it? So these elements came in the center. Okay. So if you see, I got in the center. At the same time, now I want these elements in the vertically also in the center. Okay. So now let me try one of the property called vertical align as middle. So it is not working. So whenever these type of properties are not working, so what I need to do? I need to go with the justify element, content or align items, flex properties. Okay. For example, the same property text instead of text align, I can use the other properties. Okay. Like for this element, as I given not header, which one? Okay. So I'll give a class to it. Class as links. Okay, I given as links. So now I'll do like okay. So dot class will be indicated with the dot symbol. So dot links. I'll give what I need to give. So justify content as center, which will make all the elements to come in the center. Now I need to vertically also want to make the elements in the center. So to deal with the vertical alignment, okay, so where is it? Okay, so vertical alignment I need to deal with. The class is called align items. So I need to give center. But if you see, even if you justify content align items, the elements within this div, those are not even moving because these alignment properties will work only if your display is flex or grid. That means the element display should be flex or grid. But what is the display of this element now? It will be inline block because I can run as a display flex to the parent, so the childs will be in a different display. So now what I do again, I do display flex to this element also because here I given display flex to deal with the childs. So here again I have childs within this element. So to deal with this childs, I'll make this parent as a display flex. So if I give a simple display as flex, now if you see this came the center or no. So if you just imagine. So before it is like this. So when I give just yeah. So it is like this. So as long as when I give display as flex, what happened? Each element will be like this. Okay. Without flex, how these elements will be? See, these elements will be like this. Inline elements. But now as soon as I give display flex, these will be full elements. See, taken. So now I want this element in the center. So as soon as I give justify content, so what happened? The content complete elements came in the center. So the whatever the empty space on the right side or left side, it will be equally divided and it will keep my elements in the center. For example, I don't want in the center. Okay. So I have other properties like center. If I give, it will be in the center. If I give end, it will go to the completely dead end, right side. If I give flex end, go to the right side. If I give flex start, it will come to the left side starting. If I give as a space around, if I give space around, what this space around will be doing is, see, space is creating around your element. Okay. So how much space is there on the left side and the right side? Same space will be given for each and every element. That means, so here it is making some space. The same space is given here also. Then here. For this element, front and back. For this element, front and back. Space around will be equal space to the element around the element. So next property we have is the space between. Now if you see this is the space in between the elements. Got it? So next one is space evenly. So that means see, starting off the same space, everywhere equal space is created. So if you want to create links this like this also, you can create by using this justify content property. Okay. So if you say start effective, that means completely it will go to the starting. But I don't want like this. I want to be in the center. So I'll be justify content as center. So now horizontal alignment is done. So now I need to deal with the vertical alignment. So vertical alignment, what I do? I'll do align items is the property which will help me to deal with the vertical alignment. So now if you see, as I do vertical align items in the center, what happens? From top to bottom, equal width is there or not? So it is in the completely in the center line. So here, however, for justify content, we have properties like top, bottom, left, right, and all, right? Space around, space in between. In the same way, align items also, we have that property. So if you see base, then if I give, it will go to the top. If I give center, it will come to the center vertically. So if I give end, completely end. If I give flex end, down, flex start top, and if you do self start means starting. So stretch means whole thing will be stretched. So like this, each element will have a property value. Okay, so now if you see left side my logo is created and right side my elements are created. Got it? So how I did it? Just by using the properties called justify content for horizontal alignment, align items for vertical alignment, and to make this properties work, I convert the display as a flex. Okay. Arthamayinda? Is it clear? So I got created like this. Okay, is it clear? So now for me, the first header is created. So I need to give some background to this header. So what I do, directly I take the header and let us check which one will be good. So background I give black. Okay. So if I give black, my image as a background white, so it is effective. So that I give white background only. Okay. Now I'll make this bold. Okay. Font weight as well as bold. That means those will become bold letters. Okay. Like this I given. So I don't want any border now. Okay. So what I'll do instead of white, let me change some other color. Similar colors to this. Okay, this will be good. Okay. So now if you what I do, these are the properties for my header. So I copy this and I directly go to the where is the where header is used. Okay, here header display flux is given. So I'll give here. So now if you see, I got this layout or not. So I don't need this border. So I'll remove that class for my header. Okay. Because I don't want the border anymore. The header is created or not. The first layout is done. Now I need to go to the second one, which have 3 elements. So for that, what I need to do? First, I need to create one parent. Next, I need to go with 3 childs, right? Child 1, child 2, child 3. Okay. So I take it like this. So I'll give this class. Okay, let me give a comment like section 2. It is section 1. Okay. So in this section now I'll give a class like main content is one of the class I'm giving to you. Okay. So now I'll also give a class called border. Okay. So for this element also I give class as border. 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 So it is a left sidebar and it will be the right sidebar and it will be the middle content. Middle content. Okay. So if you go to the browser now, see left sidebar created, right middle content created, right bar also created. But why these are coming like this? Because why these are coming one by one down? Because divs are by default block level element. So if I want to make them in a single line, what I need to do? Angel Japan. ఎలా కన్వర్ట్ చేస్తుంది దేనికి ఇస్తావు ఫ్లెక్స్ వేర్ ఇస్ ద పేరెంట్ పేరెంట్ ఎక్కడ వీటిలో పేరెంట్ ఏది సో ఈ డివ్ అనేది మెయిన్ పేరెంట్ సో దానికంటే క్లాస్ ఉంది కాబట్టి ఈ క్లాస్ యూజ్ చేసుకుని నేను ఏం చేస్తా ఫ్లెక్స్ అనేది ఇచ్చుకుంటాను సో హౌ ఐ డూ సో main content I'll give display as flags. వచ్చాయా నా ఇన్లైన్ బ్లాక్ ఎలిమెంట్స్ కాబట్టి దానికి ఎంత స్పేస్ కావాలంటే తీసుకున్నాయి బట్ నాకేమి ఈచ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీ ఎలిమెంట్ షుడ్ టేక్ ఈక్వల్ బిట్ సో అప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలి చైల్డ్ క్లాస్ ఇవ్వాలి సో నేనేం చేస్తాను సో మెయిన్ కంటెంట్ లో డివ్స్ అన్ని ఫ్లెక్స్ ఎంత తీసుకోవాలి 1 అని ఇచ్చాను ఓకే చైల్డ్ ఇక్కడ చైల్డ్ కి ఇస్తున్నాను క్లాసెస్ ప్రాపర్టీ సో ఇప్పుడు రిలోడ్ చేసి ఏమైంది ఈచ్ చైల్డ్ ఈక్వల్ పెడితే తీసుకున్నాం బట్ యాజ్ పర్ అవర్ రిక్వైర్మెంట్ ఏమి ఓన్లీ మిడిల్ పార్ట్ కి ఏం చేయాలి ఎక్కువ పెడుతుండాలి లెఫ్ట్ అండ్ రైట్ తక్కువ ఉండాలి సో నేనేం చేస్తాను సో లెట్ us గివ్ సమ్ క్లాస్ టు దిస్ వన్ లైక్ మిడిల్ డివ్ అనే క్లాస్ ఇచ్చాను సో ఇప్పుడు దీనికి మాత్రం ఏం చేస్తాను సెపరేట్ గా ఫ్లెక్స్ ఏం చేస్తాను ఇంక్రీజ్ చేస్తాను 2 గా ఇస్తాను అండ్ ఇప్పుడు టోటల్ గా ఎన్ని ఎలిమెంట్స్ ఉన్నట్టు ఇక్కడ సో అంటే ఒక్కొక్క ఎలిమెంట్ ఎంత పెడితే తీసుకుంటుంది 25 సో లెఫ్ట్ విత్ 25 రైట్ విత్ 25 బట్ మిడిల్ మాత్రం ఎంత తీసుకుంటుంది 50 తీసుకుంటుంది ఏమైంది తీసుకోలేదు మిడిల్ డివ్ ఫ్లెక్స్ టు మెయిన్ కంటెంట్ స్లాష్ డివ్ ఓకే ఫస్ట్ ప్రాపర్టీని ఇదే తీసుకుంటుంది ఓకేనా సో నేనేం చేస్తాను ఓకే సో ఇప్పుడు తీసుకునిందా ఓన్లీ రైట్ మిడిల్ మాత్రం 2 పార్ట్స్ తీసుకునింది సో నాకు ఇది ఇంకా సరిపోతుంది. సైడ్ బార్స్ ఇప్పుడు ఇంత పెద్దగా ఉంది. సో నేను ఏం చేస్తాను, దీన్ని 3 పార్ట్స్ చేద్దాం మిడిల్ మళ్ళీ. సో అంటే టోటల్ అప్పుడు ఎన్ని పార్ట్స్ ఉన్నట్టు? టోటల్ గా ఫస్ట్ 1 పార్ట్, సెకండ్ 3 పార్ట్స్, లాస్ట్ 1 పార్ట్, 5 పార్ట్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఒక్కొక్క ఎలిమెంట్ ఎంత పర్సెంటేజ్ తీసుకుంటుంది? లెఫ్ట్ 20, రైట్ 20, బట్ మిడిల్ మాత్రం 60 తీసుకుంటుంది. సో 3 పార్ట్స్. ఇది కూడా ఎక్కువ. నెక్స్ట్ ఇది నాకు ప్రాపర్ లేఅవుట్, అవునా? సో 4 పార్ట్స్ అంటే టోటల్ 6 పార్ట్స్ ఉన్నాయి. నాకు టోటల్ ఇప్పుడు ఎన్ని ఉన్నాయి? ఇక్కడ చూడడానికి 3 ఎలిమెంట్స్ ఉన్నా కూడా టోటల్ నాకు ఎన్ని ఎలిమెంట్స్ గా ఉంటుంది? 6 ఎలిమెంట్స్. సో ఫస్ట్ సెకండ్ 1 ఎలిమెంట్ అయితే మిడిల్ వచ్చి 4 ఎలిమెంట్స్. సో అప్పుడు 100 డివైడ్ బై 6 అంటే ఎంత వస్తుంది? 100 డివైడ్ బై 6 అరౌండ్ 16% అనుకున్నాం. ఓకే, 16% లెఫ్ట్ అండ్ 16% రైట్ అండ్ ఎంత? ఆల్మోస్ట్ 33 అనుకుంటే రిమైనింగ్ ఎంత? 67% ఏం తీసుకుంటుంది? మిడిల్ తీసుకుంటుంది, అవునా? సో దట్ ఈస్ హౌ మై ఫ్లక్స్ విల్ వర్క్. గాట్ ఇట్? ఓకే, సో ఇక్కడ ఏమైంది? ఫ్లక్స్ అనేది 4 ఇచ్చాను. సో ఇప్పుడు నేను ఏం చేస్తున్నా, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఐ నీడ్ టు ఇంక్రీజ్ ద హైట్ టు దిస్ ఎలిమెంట్స్. ఓకే, సో ఐ గివ్ డివ్ కదా ఆల్రెడీ తీసుకున్నాను. సో హైట్ యాజ్ 300 px. నాకు క్రియేట్ అయిందా? బట్ ఇప్పుడు నాకేమి కంటెంట్ అనేది అన్ని సెంటర్ లో ఉండాలి. అండ్ ఎలిమెంట్ కంటెంట్ అంతా వర్టికల్ అండ్ హారిజాంటల్ గా సెంటర్ గా ఉండాలి. అప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలి నేను? సో ఈచ్ డివ్ కి ఏం ఇక్కడ చైల్డే కదా. సో ఇక్కడ ఈ ఎలిమెంట్స్ అనేది నాకు ఏం చేశాను? చైల్డ్ లోపల వర్క్ అవడానికి, సెంటర్ రావడానికి ఏం చేశాను? చైల్డ్ కి కూడా మళ్ళీ డిస్ప్లే ఫ్లక్స్ ఇచ్చాను, అవునా? ఇక్కడ నుండి ఫ్లక్స్ ఇచ్చి అలైన్ చేశాను. సో అదే విధంగా ఇక్కడ కూడా ఏం చేస్తాం? సో ఇక్కడ చైల్డే కదా ఇవన్నీ. సో ఇక్కడ నాకు ఒకే చైల్డ్ ఉంది ఇక్కడ, బట్ 3 చైల్డ్స్ ఉన్నాయి. సో 3 కి ఆల్రెడీ ఒకే క్లాస్ డైరెక్ట్ గా ఉంది కాబట్టి ఐ విల్ డిస్ప్లే యాస్ ఫ్లక్స్ and justify content center and align items in the center. Okay, see వచ్చాయి లేదా సెంటర్? సో ఇక్కడ ఏమంటే one thing you need to remember is, first suppose here there is no other content, that is why display flux is working properly. Just imagine, first suppose you have other elements in this. So generally flux what it will do, it will keep the elements side by side. Okay, for example, see what happened. So I have 3 paragraphs, but as a given parent as a flex, what happened? These elements are automatically coming in a single line. అర్థమవుతుందా? ఫ్లెక్స్ ఇవ్వడం వల్ల ఏమవుతుంది? If I give flex, all the elements will become in a single line. Okay, so this is sometimes I need to use the display flex, but I don't want the elements side by side. I want the elements to be down by down. So that is where the property flex direction will come into the picture. So now for this div, what I'll do? For this only, I want this element to be in the down by down. So I'll use flex direction as. So now we have row wise, it is by default will flex direction is row. Now I need to convert it into columns. Now if you see, now it came correctly or not? So both vertical and horizontal, it is in the center. At the same time, instead of going on the left to left in a single line, these are coming from top to bottom. Got it? So this is how you can create a layout by using flex direction property will also help us. So now what we need to do, like which one? So middle content, right? Middle div, right? For the div, I need to make flex, change the flex direction only for this element. So flex direction as the column. Okay, so in that there is column reverse, row reverse also there. That means reverse wise I can make it. Starting will be the back will be starting, like that. Got it? So this is how you can create a layout by using this basic display flex. Okay, so now the middle part is done. So now what we need to do with the third section? So that is nothing but footer. Okay, footer. So here same method, parent, and I'll have how many childs? 4 childs. So I'll give class as border and I'll give as child. Okay. Total 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I'll give div class as footer. Okay. And also I'll give border because I need to see where the element is starting and where the element is ending. So this is how my element is created now. So now you tell me the properties, what I need to do first. First, what I need to do? Single line like this only. So how I can take it? So what is the parent here? So I need to give to the flex to which one? Which selector I need to give? Selector. There is a class called footer. So now selector is class selector. So footer I give display as flex. So now if you see what happened, equally divided or no? So now footer within the footer, whatever the divs are there, I want the divs to be in a flex as one I need to maintain, right? So I need to give dot footer space div. All the divs I want flex as one. Equally divided or no? Okay. So now what I'll do? Two, three, four. Okay. So like this I got. If I inspect this element, so this is what my layout. So I want some height to this element. So what I'll do? I'll give height to this child. So already I have a class flex one. Same class I'll use. Like I'll give height as 150 px. So if you see now, height is came or not. So I want some space also to these elements. So if I give padding, it will be created inside of the elements. There is no use. So I'll use the margin. Margin I'll use as 10 px. So if you see, space is created or not. I got the space or no? Got it? Now the space is created. So let us give this properties to my where here. Okay. So footer generally have links, multiple links will be there, right? So what I do? Link 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay. So let me duplicate that only. Okay, 4. See, I have like this 11. So here I have given as height as 150 px. So due to that, what happened? My elements are more than 150 px. That's why overflow is happening. So let me give 400 px will be good. So now if you see, my elements are looking good in like this, but I want them in the center. So I need to make them as text align. See, now I got my links or no. So like this, I got my links. Okay. So height as 200 px. And then what I need to do? Text align as center. Okay. So like this I created. I got my footer is created. So is I created a layout or no? Whatever the layout we discussed is completely created. Is it hard? ఏమన్నా కష్టం ఉన్నది ఇప్పుడు డిస్కస్ చేసినట్టు. Is there any confusions? Okay, so I created. Okay, so now if you see, just by using flags and normal properties only what I created this layout. For example, sometimes you need to shuffle the elements. That means by mistake I created the divs. Okay, which are at the code level. Code level I can't change them. I want them to be the same way. That means this is the first element. Element 2. Okay, let me give okay. So here let us not give any height. We'll take how much height it is required. Okay. So now see element 1, 2, 3, 4. So by default, I want to create like this only, but I want to shuffle like 4 should be in the second place, 1 should be in the third place, or 2 should be in the first place. Like that, I want to shuffle. Simply this, I need to change the order of the elements. So I can't change, I'm not supposed to change the order in the coding wise. That means in the code, I need to, if I change it, like if I cut it and paste it after this, it will come as an order required. But I don't want to give like that. Okay. I want the structure to be like that, but I want to change the order. So that is where I'll use a property called order. Okay. For example, I want this fourth element to be in the first place. So what I do, directly I'll go to that element, this one, and I'll give order property as 1. Okay, so nothing is changed because for suppose within a parent, if you are disturbing order of any one of the child, that means all the other elements also will get disturbed. So if you give order to one element, you need to mention the order of the remaining elements. So for example, so now I want this second to be in the last place. Okay, so I'll give order as 4. So if you see, as I order is getting disturbed, what happening? These are coming in a from back side. As soon as I give an order to one element, those will start coming from the back side. Okay. So now if you see, these two orders disturbed. So once I give order to these two, like this order 3, I want in the first section, first place. So I'll give order as how much? 2 in the second place. And the first element I want to be in the third place. So I'll do order as C. Now if you see orders are changed or not, however we requested. So fourth is in the first place, third is in the second place, and first is in the third place, second is in the fourth place. By just using, instead of, I didn't touch the code part, just by using one property called order, I changed the order of my elements. Got it? So this is how I can give the orders. So I'll give this classes as child 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now I'll use these classes here. Okay. So not child 4. Child 1, what is the order? Child 1, what is the order? 3. It is in the third place, right? Order of 3. So now let us duplicate this. 3, 4. Child 2, what is the order? 4. Child 3, what is the order? Order of 2. So now child 4, what is the order? It should be in the first place. So now if I go and reload, see, I want the same order or not. So this is how you have to create any layout by using the basic flex layout. So here I have discussed only some of the properties like justify content, align items and all. So for a flex, if you go in depth, flex grow is there, flex shrink is there, n number of properties are there. So if you know flex very well, you can create any web page very easily. You don't depend on any ready-made code. Okay. So if you know the flex, you can create multiple animations also. Okay. Flex is the parent to the layout systems, we can say. Okay. So what is your task is I'm going to give you one of the layout system and you need to create that layout system exactly, including spacings and all. Content and images, you can use whatever you want. Okay. But I want to complete that task. Is it clear? So let me show you the layout. Okay. So see here. So this is the layout you want to create. I want you to create. Okay. So just imagine this is your web page. This is how it will look. Okay. So if you go to the top, I have a header on the left, right side I have some text. Next bottom I have a what I have some navbar is there. Next I need a big banner image. You already know how to take. So take it as a one image, and I want like this. And here I need to divide two sections. Okay, so one is big banner, other one is like this. Okay, so coming down again here one banner. So if you see, sorry, if you create the top section, okay, if you create this one section, you can use the same section here also, because there this element will be in the left side, here it will be in the right side. You can use the order, or you can use the just code also, you can change it. Okay, so same section. See, however you create on the top, here also same, but only images are changed. Okay, so now like this. So this is what you want to create. Okay, so totally you have 2 days, like Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. I want you to complete on Monday. So at least if you are not able to show images or not, I want you to create a basic architecture blueprint. So you know what is meant by blueprint. So that means what is the structure of the layout is there. The layout, how I want you to create it. For example, so here was there some links. So next one banner. Next one parent is there, within the parent, one image is there, and then it is one child. Okay, so one more child is there. Second, within the second child, I have links. Next, I have cards. Okay, so this is how layout. So now what I do, I shuffle for the next section, I shuffle this child to here and this child to here. That is what the layout completely, right? So that is how I want you to create. So images, you can use anything, content, you can use anything. But I just want the layout structure, I want like this. Okay. అర్థమైందా? ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయా? ఎలా చేయాలి అని చెక్ చేయండి. ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయా? పలానా లేఅవుట్ నాకు డౌట్ వస్తుంది, ఎలా చేయాలని ఏమైనా డౌట్ ఉందా? Anybody have any doubts? So first of all, just don't, as I said, don't blindly start doing. As I told you, first divide. So if you just imagine how you can divide this layout. Okay. First one, this whole thing is one parent. Okay. So within that parent, how many childs will come? 2 childs. One is this child, one is this child. Okay. So in the first child, you just normally one background image and some content. You can put it in the center. Okay, one that is done. Second one is again, second element will have 3 childs. Okay. Sorry, 2 childs only you can take it. Okay, 3 childs you need to take. First child, second child, this one, this arrow one, third child. Okay, 3 childs are there. So first one will be like 3% or 3%, remaining will be 96% or 92%. Wait, that means flex. You can use a direct instead of if you are not okay, if you are feeling flex is not okay properly, like flex 2, 3 and all, you can directly use the width also, like width 30%, width 30%, width 30%. Like that also you can directly use the properties. Okay. So now this is done. Child is created. So this child, this have only one element. Just as you display flex, justify content center and align it in the center. If I do, it will come in the center. These two. Now this is the main child. So in this child again, how many elements will come? 2 elements. So it is one child, and this whole thing is one child. Okay. So in that first one is links. That is not a big deal. You can create that links and you can put. So next, second parent. If you think this is your parent, just imagine I'm dealing about only this section. So this is your section. So first, what you need to do, you need to create one image with this much some height. Okay. You will take one div. Within that div, you will create one more div, and within that div, you will put one image, and then one paragraph, one heading, again one paragraph. Okay. So this whole thing will be within a one div. So you get the structure or not. So next, what you will do, you will just copy paste it. You want 3, you copy paste it, and if you want this space, so what you will do, you do margin to this element. So automatically you will get this layout or not. The same layout what I did in the footer. Footer came in the same thing we do here. So I'll share you the code also. So now what I will do, as soon as it is done, the complete layout is done or not. Is there any tough in this? ఆరోసారి నేను చెప్తాను నేను మీకు ఆరోసారి ఐదోసారి ఈ లేఅవుట్ చెప్తాను నేను లేఅవుట్ చేసి కూడా ఇచ్చాడు కోడ్ ఆయన చేయలేదు. Okay. So this is how you will create this layout. Okay. So I'm going to share this layout along with today's file. Okay. Try to check the task and I want this to be completed by Monday. Monday morning you have to complete the task. Okay. Got it. So on Monday we'll be discussing about some other layout systems. Okay. You can leave. Thank you. Anybody have any doubts? Sure. Paka.